Hi guys, as you can see, I'm joined by Will Moorcroft, who works as commentator and in media communications for Salford City. Will, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, Owen. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So
Good.
the first question I've got for you here is, will Salford City be full strength or are they carrying any injuries as of right now?
We're still missing Darren Gibson, and it's just a bit too early for Richie Tell. Darren picked up a really serious injury back in October time, and Richie as well has had a recurrence of an injury he picked up in the season earlier. So they're two big misses, and obviously both as central midfielders, it's somewhere where we've perhaps been a little light, but we may do. But Oscar Threlkel's back into the mix there alongside Jason Lowe, and they make things up. So it generally looking all okay. We could have Ash Easton back, the captain. He's missing on Tuesday night. His wife was due to give birth. But yeah, other than that, we should be fine.
Who's your player to watch for Salford City against Newport?
Certainly Václav Hladký in goal. I think he's amongst one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Certainly got the most clean sheets, and he's been a really big foundation that the team's built on this season. He coming down from the SPL, he's phenomenal as both a shot stopper and a distributor within the game. He's very good with the ball at his feet. So he's one to keep an eye on. But going forward, probably Ash Hunter. I think anyone who's kept tabs on League One for the last few years will know just how good Ash is. And he's sort of shown that this season as well for us. Second top scorer with 7 goals, 6 of them has come in the league, and they're usually all quite special, really. So he's one who, County are going to have to try and keep quiet if they can.
Just to give an idea of what County fans are in for against Salford, what were your expectations at the start of the season for Salford City in terms of league position or how they'd perform?
I mean, I don't think there's many bones about it. The club's ambition is to get promoted. Ideally, that will be automatically in the top 3. But if that does come by the playoffs, it's still a promotion. So they're not going to mind as much. Obviously, last season, I think a lot of people were quite disappointed with where we finished. But when you look back on it in hindsight, it was quite a transitional season. And the way that we at least gave the players who got us up the chance, I'm pleased that we did it that way instead of just doing a clean sweep in the summer. But I think certainly the upper echelons felt that we needed something a bit more to get us up. They are very stringent. You just need to look at the CVs, and you can see that's quite clearly the aim. So, yeah, like I say, whether by autos of the playoffs, promotion, certainly the target.
What is your prediction for the game in terms of how do you think the game's going to pan out performance-wise for both clubs?
I think the 2 games that you've had so far, I think have been really well contested. Obviously, the FA Cup game, I think the first half was rather even. And if I'm being honest, I'm sure County fans might not agree with me, but I think the red card really changed that game and, allowed a stronger County side to get the better of us. Back at ours in the league, we could have been 2-3 clear, and then there was the late penalty. So, it will be similarly tight. I'm not quite sure what your pitch is looking like at the moment, but if that is going to play a factor, it could change things, but it won't take away that it will be 2 teams who know how important 3 points are going to be, and they're certainly going to leave everything on the pitch. If any players are jogging off the pitch at the end or coming off as a sub, I'd be very surprised, because they're going to have to go for it. This is a really, really big match in the season.
And I agree with you there, and I think that it'll be even more. Well, I think Salford will be rubbing their hands a little bit that we've just lost a couple of players who've gone back to their parent clubs that we had on loan. Scott Twine in particular, who's been really good for us this season. So I think, sort of going on what you said as well, I do think that it'll be a fiercer contest, and it's one that County have to look out for. It's like, compared to the last game, I think it is going to be tougher for us, to be fair. And
yeah, I mean, you're always going to struggle losing players like Twine. I mean, you see he's gone back into that Swindon side, and already started giving them a boost. But there is a good squad that you've got down there, and if you've got the right players to come back in, Mike Flynn's really well connected. I'm sure bringing the replacements you need.
For sure. And is there anyone from Newport County's squad that you would take at Salford City?
I certainly like the look of Josh Sheehan. I think he's a very clever player. He's very technical, likes to pull the strings really in the middle, and he certainly worked very well with Twine when he was there from what I'd seen. I think if you'd have asked me last season, before we brought in Halaki in the summer, any of your two goalkeepers, they're both really, really good. Townsend was by far man of the match in the reverse league fixture. But, I think the squad that you guys have built works for you guys really well. I'm one of these who sort of sits on the fence a little bit between saying you can't just pick a player out of one team and drop them in another and everything works really well. Teams are set up so differently, and I think one of the things that I do like about the way Newport's set up is that you've got players who fit your system really well. They're very targeted recruitment, the guys you bring in, and it's quite unique. Really, I can't think of many, if any, other teams who play the way that Newport do.
It's almost like
a hard one to answer.
It's almost like an identity thing as well, I think, with the players we bring in. It's sort of like they fit a certain mold. It doesn't even have to be like, I don't want to say ability-wise, because obviously we've got a good squad, but in terms of, it's like personalities in the squad, and it's that sort of thing. And I think that's what Flynn's done really well for us at the moment. Like you said, I agree with the statement that it's hard to just take a player out of one team and expect them to do the exact same, because especially with all the coaching and stuff and the systems they play in. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
I mean, someone like Paddy Monge, he's a proven goal scorer. I'm really surprised that he's never actually played above League 2 level. He's the sort of player who you think could have had a good crack in League 1, even the Championship. So I think that probably relates to what you've just confirmed there as well about character. There's obviously something going on that he really likes at Newport, and a proven goal scorer. Surprised he's never played above League 2, but there's obviously something about being at Newport that he really likes that keeps him at the club. I think a lot of clubs in League 1 and maybe some Championship clubs would have fancied him with his record, but I think credit to him that he stays, and he's certainly one where if he needed goals, he'd look his way.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And that's all we got time for, really, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of the Exiles podcast. Will, thank you for coming on and sharing your thoughts.
No worries. All the best for Saturday.
Yeah, and I hope we both enjoy the game, no matter what the result, anyway.